Hi, it's Andrew Thornton here. We're in Asheville still, and this is our last day. I just wanted to check in and see how you guys were doing, and also to show you our progress on our projects. If you have been following along our new Facebook Live videos, we started out by making what we thought were going to be backgrounds, and they sort of evolved into paintings. Originally, we used a product called Brusho for the first layers of paint and pigment to add color, but they were a little bit saturated, so we had to put a ton of gesso and matte mediums and things to kind of dull the color and the intensity and the saturation. So this is after several different layers of gesso, and then after we did that, we thought it would be such a waste to just use them as backgrounds, so we decided to turn them into paintings. So then I went in and added a couple different washes and layers and kind of played with the color, and then I added some embellishments with the golden interference paints. And then, and I love them because they add a little bit of kind of a sheen, and they come in different colors. One of my favorites is the interference violet, and I also like the interference gold. And if you want just plain white, they have a zinc white, and it has a nice luminous quality because the zinc white is not completely opaque. And then Cynthia went over and added the kind of figurative elements and some of the little kind of floral motifs in there too, which is pretty cool. And I think we did a good job. And so we're really pleased. We'll probably put these up for sale. If you're interested, you can email us at info@allegorygallery.com. and we'll have more information, but we just finished them, so we haven't come up with prices or titles or anything. Speaking of more goodies to come, we've got some new Green Girl pieces. These are produced by my sister and her husband and their company here in Asheville, North Carolina. They're all made of fine pewter. Some say Britannia. It's a metal alloy that doesn't have lead or bismuth. It's a really beautiful metal, in my opinion. It looks like silver, but it's got a little bit more of kind of a bluish kind of patina to it in a way, and also it's way more affordable than silver, which I love silver, but you know, sometimes it's a little bit cost prohibitive sometimes. These are all in the Allegory Gallery Etsy shop. Some of these are new designs, some of them are relatively new, and then some of them are oldies but goodies. One of the newer pieces right now is this iris pendant. The iris pendant says wisdom on the back. One of our favorite flowers growing up was the iris. It had a really beautiful kind of flamboyancy to it.
They're based on Victorian love tokens, size and shape.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but Cynthia said that they're based on Victorian love tokens, and the motifs and the size and shape are kind of patterned after that.
And they're also using the language of flowers, so the symbols correspond with the meanings.
And so she also said the motifs use the language of flowers, which was kind of a Victorian code, like secret code for when they're trying to do secret messages, like they're texting, but with flowers, or sexting, depending on the flower. So those are based off of that kind of language of flowers. And another new one William had it shown as a little piggy. And that one, the little pig, is based off of the truffle hunting pigs. And plus we like bacon. And a long time ago, well, I shouldn't say a long time ago, but back in the day, Cynthia did the latex puppets for Babe, that movie, when she was just starting out. So it's funny that that toy has, you know, who knew? Anyway, so here's a bird. I like it. They make fun earrings. We also make a pendant when you layer it with like a little nest or kind of another focal. Speaking of oldies but goodies, Cynthia handed over this mandrake root that we sculpted. And this is kind of like the roots that we were making before the root babies. And the what we did was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ann Choi. She's a metalsmith artist out of Atlanta, and she works with a lot of poetry and botanicals and kind of really kind of literary based kind of inspiration. And so we all love those kind of themes. So we created some pieces, and this is one of them. And so we encased the root baby sculpture with actual found objects. The hair of the root baby is made of actual twigs that were off of a succulent in Cynthia's studio. And we encased it in layers of resin that we tinted, and we added inclusions in the back too to give it kind of that amber feel, kind of like a dragonfly caught in amber. Shout out to all my Outlander fellow fans. Also, I wanted to mention briefly that we're doing a challenge in our Allegory Gallery Design Challenge group. It's Water and Fire. It's a competition challenge, which we don't do a ton of, but it seems like people seem to be enjoying them. So the Water and Fire challenge is a cool way of pushing yourself creatively, and also maybe you get a prize. And if you don't want to compete, you don't have to. We still put together a really cool collection of beads and components. So I think it's a good value. I would buy it personally if I didn't make it myself. The twist on this is that you don't know exactly which kit you'll get if you order just one. Now, if you order 2 kits, you'll get one of each. But if you order one, what I think we're going to do is roll a dice and maybe put evens for water or odds for fire, or some kind of system where we put a pebble in a bag, one black and one white, or one red and one blue or something. So I think it'll be a fun way to kind of twist it up even more. I also wanted to mention that Cynthia is still doing a contest for Etsy. It's called Differences Make Us. Right now she needs to make up a lot of ground, so if you haven't voted yet, hop on over to either my Facebook feed or Cynthia's Facebook feed, and I'm sure there'll be a link hidden in that deluge of information.
It's also on her Instagram at Green Girl Studios.
Yep. And so once you go to that, all you have to do is put your email in and vote. And if you could share about that, that'd be super awesome as well, because everything's appreciated. Now, if you're kind of just tuning in, the contest, the winner gets $10,000 for their business. And what Cynthia and Greg want to do is they want to use that money to update their casting equipment. And if you love their products and you know that they're made with love, they're made here in the USA, and they are also made in their studio, which is also their garage. And new casting equipment would allow them to do it safer and more efficiently. Right now, I would take you downstairs, but I'm afraid to get metal burned in my face, so we'll skip that part. But it's one of those things where they do centrifugal casting, and there's molten metal being flung around, and so having new casting equipment would really help their business. So if you can go over there and vote for Cynthia Thornton of Green Girl Studios, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to share, you get bonus points. I don't, maybe karma bonus points, but still bonus points in my eyes. A gold star.
Doll over there too.
Also, if you are, this is not connected, but kind of. If you go over to her Instagram, she's running a contest giveaway of her own, and all you have to do is follow her and follow the rules there, and you'll get this little lady as well.
You could win.
You could, if you're
Maybe.
lucky. And then she's got some other prizes, but I'm not going to go hunt around for those.
They're all pictured in her Instagram feed.
Yeah. And then right now Cynthia's picking up the kids. I know you guys wanted a tour of her studio, but Cynthia and I are both a little bit protective of our studio spaces. They're kind of our sacred spaces that we create in, and we don't often have people in them. So this is kind of rare for us to do that, especially for her. I mean, I can probably count on my hands how many people have been up in this room. And for me particularly, I've been kind of in transition with my studio, so I keep saying, oh, it's too dirty, I need to organize it, I need to get it all cleaned up before I can have some visitors. But hopefully now that we've started to do these Facebook Live videos, we'll do more of them, and so it'll kind of force me to make it presentable, or who knows, maybe I'll do them at the store. On that note, I'm going to have one of these lovely cookies. This is a double chocolate chip cookie from Philo, and finish packing, and we'll get on the road. If you have any suggestions or questions, just let us know, and we'd be happy to maybe do what you've suggested. You know, sometimes people are like, well, tell me all your trade secrets of how you create that, and unless you're going to accompany that with a check, we probably won't do that. But if it's some questions, I'll be happy to answer. Anyways, on that happy note, we'll wish you a good day and have a good week. Bye-bye.